There's much to begin.
Getting reports of unrest all over La France. There are whispers from Mustafa. Some people in the Empire as weak, vulnerable. Not to worry, Agent Callus. The Emperor has sent an alternative solution. Lord Vader. Yes, Master. The rebels of the Lothal system. Hunt them down. As you wish. Fighter, coming in at Mark 3. We've lost meeting 1 and 2. We will freeze Lothal until someone reveals the whereabouts of these treasures.
For the good of Lothal, we have to leave.
All right, if I tag along?
The more the merrier.
The Star Wars Trilogy. Three timeless adventures that changed movie making forever. Now, the entire trilogy, digitally mastered in THX for the ultimate in sound and picture quality. This will be your last chance to own the original version of Star Wars, the George Lucas masterpiece that launched the Star Wars trilogy. The Force is forever, for all generations. The original Star Wars trilogy on video, one last time.
Hello, I'm Leonard Maltin. In the old days of those Saturday matinee cliffhanger serials, the audience had to wait an entire week to find out what happened to its hero. George Lucas went well beyond that. He kept us all waiting years between Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and then finally, The Return of the Jedi. Thanks for being here, George. By the time you got to episode 3, did anything from public feedback or from your own second thoughts change your vision of what the third installment should be? Or is it the way you thought it would turn out?
No, that's pretty much the way it was always thought to come out. I mean, I had to make certain changes to things because in the original screenplay, the Ewok.
Where was your lightsaber?
And Chewbacca really wasn't the co-pilot.
Oh, okay.
So, and so when I did the first film, I loved
You should
the Wookiee
always
so much,
carry
I
your
felt like I
lightsaber,
could work
though.
there, even though, because those may never get done. So I took the Wookiee out of the battles and made him the co-pilot.
You're protected.
But
Don't
originally
worry,
they were sort
you're
of a primitive
protected, my
race of
sweet.
people who couldn't
These
fly or
are
couldn't do
too
anything.
hot, so I
And,
took
that was
off
the
my
point.
shirt.
And so I
Bet you
had
were
to sort of,
too
I
hot.
had to figure out
A
how
little
to
bit.
do Wookiees, and I basically cut them in half and called them Ewoks. But it was a lot of that stuff is all there. But in the original, it was a ground battle and an air battle all together.
How did you ever think of Jabba the Hutt?
Well, Jabba, it's one of those things. I needed a gangster. I mean, he was in the first film, and in the in the special edition, we're putting back a lot of material with Jabba the Hutt in the first film, in the very first one that we did, and so he was in that. He was this big gangster, and it wasn't until a little later that we actually, because we couldn't do that sequence because we didn't have the time, but. When we got to the third one and Jabba appeared, then we did this whole thing of designing that one as a big kind of repulsive character, and
Woo!
and we had a lot of designers coming up with various versions of Jabba the Hutt.
Was it a conscious decision to move a good chunk of the action for Part 3 into an earthly outdoor terrain? It's so different from anything you see in the first two films.
Well, it was. I'm very conscious of the environments. And I try to have at least 3 environments in a movie, and I try to have them as different as possible. And then from movie to movie, I try to have the environments as different as possible. In the first movie, we were on a sand thing. It was all kind of a brown color. And so then on the second one, I put in the snow, and it was all kind of white. And then I did the green, swampy kind of thing. And the third one, you're sort of, what can you do in terms of environments? You have to shoot it somewhere on this earth. Unfortunately, we can't go somewhere else. So, a forest was really about the only thing I had left. And originally, even with the Wookiees, the Wookiees lived in a forest environment. They lived in the same kind of tree houses, and they did that. They were sort of earth people. There's a whole motif of, like, Luke's planet. Everybody is brown. There's lots of browns and earth tones. Everything is earth tones and light tan, light brown, flesh color. It's all very warm tones. And then when you go to the Death Star,
May the Force
it's black and
be
white.
with you.
Everything is black and white all